In a small town at the edge of the Appalachian Hills, there was a blacksmith named Daniel Coleman. His shop sat on a dirt road nobody had ever bothered to pave. The sign above the door had faded so badly you could barely make out Coleman and Son. There was no son working there yet, just a promise. Daniel's hands were cracked from 40 years of hammering iron. His shoulders bent forward, as if the weight of every horseshoe he'd ever made was still sitting on his back. He wasn't rich. Some months, he wasn't even sure there'd be supper. But every night, without fail, Daniel walked 2 miles to sit beside his son Ethan on the porch and look up at the sky. "That's a Cessna," 7-year-old Ethan would say, pointing at a blinking light crawling across the stars. "One day, I'm gonna fly one, Papa." He never laughed. He never said that's impossible for boys like us. He just nodded slowly and said, "Then we'll find a way." Nobody in the Coleman family had ever left the county, let alone flown a plane. Flight school cost more than Daniel made in 3 years. But Daniel didn't believe in impossible, only in not yet. So he worked harder. He took on extra jobs, repairing fences, sharpening tools, forging gates for the wealthier families outside town. He sold his father's old pocket watch, the only thing of real value he owned. He skipped meals so Ethan could have new boots for school. Nobody saw him struggling. He made sure of that. One evening, when Ethan was 14, he found an old, torn photograph tucked in his father's toolbox. A young Daniel, maybe 19, standing in front of a military recruitment poster for the Air Force, a wistful smile on his face. "Papa, is this you?" Ethan asked. "Did you want to fly too?" Daniel was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "I wanted a lot of things, son. But your grandfather got sick, and someone had to keep the shop running. That's all right. Some dreams are meant to be passed down, not lived out." Something shifted in Ethan that night. He stopped seeing his father's exhaustion as just tiredness. He started seeing it for what it was: quiet, deliberate, unglamorous sacrifice, repeated every single day. From then on, Ethan studied harder than anyone in his class. He read library books on aerodynamics by lantern light because the power didn't always stay on in their house. He mowed lawns to save for the county's one small aviation program. While other boys played baseball, Ethan biked 11 miles to the regional airfield just to watch planes take off, memorizing the sound of the engines. Daniel kept forging iron, kept selling what little he could spare, kept showing up. Years later, on a bright October morning, Daniel stood behind a chain-link fence at an Air Force base, wearing his one good shirt, the collar frayed but pressed carefully that morning. His hands, still rough from the forge, were folded tightly in front of him. He watched a young pilot in uniform walk across the tarmac toward a fighter jet. The pilot paused, turned, and looked straight at the fence, right at his father. Ethan didn't wave. He simply placed his hand over his heart. Daniel did the same. Then the engines roared, and the aircraft lifted into the sky. The same sky they used to watch from a broken porch, 2 miles from a shop that never had enough. Daniel didn't cry often. But that day, he did. Because he finally understood. He never needed to fly the plane himself. He only needed to build the fire strong enough that his son could. Life lesson: you don't have to achieve your dream to fulfill it. Sometimes your purpose is to give someone else the courage and the chance to reach higher than you ever could. Not every dream is meant to be lived by the one who plants it. Some are meant to be handed down, hammer stroke by hammer stroke, until someone finally takes flight. Who in your life quietly sacrificed so that you could dream bigger? And have you ever told them what it meant to you?